welcome back to another episode of Teach Me How to Be a Witch, where we teach us, not you.
Not you at all.
We did another spell.
It was fun. Actually, I think this one went really well.
Well, we kind of did too.
We did.
Kind of did similar things.
Yeah.
Different intentions, I think. Because I did the little sleepy bag.
And I got another jar.
You and your jars.
I love the jars.
I cannot, for the life of me, find where I got this idea from. I've looked in the books. I've looked in the text messages. I have looked.
We looked in the pictures and the screenshots and
cannot find where I got this idea from.
She
but
showed
I got
it
from
to
somewhere.
me. She showed it to me physically.
So we took what I remembered, and I took a little bit of the spell that she used, and made myself a little. I'm gonna call it a sleepy bag.
A sleepy bag. I like that.
I would like more restful sleep.
I'm trying
and this
to
is supposed
help.
to bring me that.
Trying to help the people that I love to have restful dreams so that they don't have bad dreams. I don't mind if they dream at all, but it needs to be good stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and that was sort of some of the stuff that went into here went with the intention of, like, with the idea was that it was going to keep the restful sleep that I'm having a positive environment.
Right.
Was what I'm hoping to get from this.
Hers is her specific, mine is a generalized for the people that I love that have night terrors or bad dreams.
This
on
is
a regular.
supposed to, like, be by my bed.
Yeah, hers is for her specifically.
Probably under the pillow is the ideal place for it, but that's not where this is going.
There was a lot of things in there, and it's a mesh bag, so...
Yeah, and double bagging it didn't help.
I mean, it...
Still
she's got cinnamon all over places.
Not just cinnamon, there's other...
The other herbs are falling through too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
There's other stuff happening.
That's funny. So, but yay, we did our third. It's the third one that I've done.
Jar.
Yeah, and it's the third one that I've done. But
I feel like
she has her own now.
The wax on this.
We did. We really, I think both of us working together with the paper towel under us didn't make a mess.
That helped.
We did not make. The herbs made a mess. Made an herby mess.
I'm still making a mess.
You know, she is. Hers is not contained.
It just...
I mean, it's contained, but you know.
I have no words. But you also did, so I'm not keeping count because we're just doing witchy things all over the place because you did
moon water. I made moon water. It was the waxing gibbous is what you said. I had to pronounce it like. So gibbous moon.
Waxing gibbous. Through to the full moon, right?
All the way through. I did it like,
moon.
Yep. So I started the water, I want to say it was Monday, because like I put it out Monday morning, because Tuesday was the full moon itself. It was the 7th. So I left it out Monday night, Tuesday night, and then Wednesday night. So I brought it in on Thursday. And Friday, I actually poured some of it into my little goblet that's sitting on my altar. I cleaned that with my lavender soap, and then I poured some in there, so that's now sitting on my altar.
All right.
And then I also took just a tiny bit to drink, just to see. I had a really crappy week, so I wanted to see if it like boosted my spirits and, you know, brought morale around type of a deal. And I feel like the day that I did it was an easier day in general. So Friday wasn't that hard at work, even though work had been hell this week. I put makeup on. There was not a lot of crying that happened in the building. So
So you think it might have...
I think it might have helped a little bit, at least to boost my own spirits in the sense that if I take this, maybe I will get better. And
so it might have had a placebo effect.
Yes, I can say that for sure. I mean, it was 2 days after horrible news, so it's kind of things have settled and sank in, and it definitely helped get through that night without a lot of tears, but I think that other things helped that too. So I'm going to continue with just a tad in the morning.
Just like a little sip in the morning to see how it goes?
Yes, because I've been told, and I don't know that it's a true statement, but I've been told that the water holds the energy of the moon. That's what we're doing it for.
Okay.
And I can understand that. I do believe that moon and water, like that the tides and all of that kind of like has something, they correlate somewhere. Sure. So I had a podcast that I was listening to where she drank the whole thing and had an overload of energy that day and had like a really stressful day because it was just way too much energy that she had in her. So I don't want to do that. We're just going to start small and see how we feel over time. Maybe this is like a vitamin effect where if I take it for a month and a half, I'm like starting to feel good in the mornings.
Yeah, let me know how that works out for you. Because,
I hate mornings, so it helps.
Kind of the idea behind doing my little sleepy bag was because I don't have a whole lot of energy, and I miss it.
That B12.
I don't feel rested when I wake up.
Right, even though you've slept for 8 hours.
Even though I've slept, I'm not one of those people that I'm like, after 4 hours I have to wake up. That's out of the question. I wake up very early, so I also go to bed very early. And if I don't get enough sleep, it is a terrible day. I have coffee every morning on a regular basis. Right. And that's how
we live our life.
Human in the morning. Yep. And I get going, and then I take that momentum, and it carries me through the day. I don't drink pots of coffee. I have one, like, to-go cup of coffee, so it's a large cup of coffee.
Me too.
And I'm good. I mean, sometimes I'll have, like, a soda in the afternoon if it's been, like, a chaotic day and there's a lot going on, but I don't require that much caffeine anymore. Right. Because I don't have a physically taxing job.
Right,
I have a mentally taxing job. So my one cup of coffee usually gets me. But I don't want the coffee to have to work so hard. I would like for some of that to be me. I would like to wake up feeling rested.
Energized.
Yeah. At least, rested at least.
Right. But ready to take on the next day.
If I could be ready to take on the day every day,
that would be great.
Fantastic.
That's what I'm hoping this does for me. I just want a little bit of...
So let me know how that works for you, because I might be willing to try the same thing.
Heard.
I mean, as long as the water is filtered.
Yeah, it came from it didn't come from the tap. And it
We're
didn't come from the
sink
hose.
Water from here.
It did come from the sink, or from the refrigerator at the house. So it's clean water.
Thing.
Yes. Clean water.
So that's good to know.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll stay tuned.
I put my stones out that night too. Did my whole cleansing of my rocks
again.
that I wore. What the hell? You hadn't worn very many, though. Now you're wearing one, and you really need to cleanse that on the next full moon. Or we can just use the Palo Santo and cleanse it too.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm with it.
I actually, when I took it was funny. When I took my stones out this time, I didn't put them on a plate like I normally do and arrange them. I have a pretty little seashell that's on my altar, so I put them in my seashell, and I took the shell out and put that, and that's what sat out there.
Oh.
I know, it was cute, and I didn't take all my stones this time. I only took the ones that I had touched and used over the last few weeks. So I'm trying to be more...
I mean, if we're being honest, I wore this for like a few days.
Still has your energy in it.
Took it off. And then changed it out for the other one, wore that for a few days, and then took it off and haven't picked it up again.
And they went in your bag with all the rest of your stones, right? Which has a clear quartz in it.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, actually, it's probably been cleansed, because that's what the clear quartz does too. Mm. So you might be okay on that. But yeah.
Who knows?
It's been a busy week for things to happen.
I will tell you, I had a big struggle with
Friday.
Bad energy on Friday. It was
Ew.
There was something going on, and I really thought for the majority of the day that it was a me problem, but that I was off.
You were the problem?
I was off my game. I wasn't as quick on the uptake.
Okay.
And I struggled being able to multitask.
Okay.
Which typically I'm
do really well.
Very good
at. Yeah.
And I was just riding the struggle bus all day, and I'm like, this sucks, man. And freaking everybody was on vacation at work, which I knew in advance.
You should have been ready for it.
It's not a problem. I've done this before. this is not an issue under normal circumstances.
Okay.
On Friday, it was a big fucking problem.
Big issue with it.
I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't get myself together. If I was presented with two things to do, one of them's not getting done. I am going to go on overload and like...
Strike?
All bets are off.
Walking out the door.
It's not getting done. And at some point, the only person that was in the office with me that day for the whole day left to go to the post office.
Oh, so you're alone. Okay.
And I was alone.
Took a few minutes.
And it was quiet for a moment. And I was like, okay, I can, like...
Woosah.
Just...
Right.
Take a second.
Right.
And so I took my little spray that I will be honest has lived in my purse because I love how it smells.
We've sprayed it like 3 times today already.
Yeah. Probably getting ready to do it again.
Just throwing that out there.
Just because I like it.
It smells so good.
But it does put my brain in a nice place because I do enjoy the smell, and the smell reminds me. It doesn't necessarily smell like the ocean.
No, I agree with that statement.
It does remind me of such a place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You
can smell the sea salt in it. You can smell
the water mixed with it.
Water.
So it kind of creates that seawater.
Yeah, the combination of ingredients is pretty dang close. This is the closest thing that I've come so far to smelling actual ocean.
Being states away.
Being miles and miles and miles away from it.
Right.
So I kind of use this a lot more than it probably is supposed to be used.
But it smells good.
I wouldn't say like a lot. Like it's not like every 5 minutes like a body spray when you're 14 years old. But
okay.
I do use it pretty often.
Okay. So at least a couple times a day.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So I took my little spray that lives in my purse now, and I like sprayed my little side of the room.
Okay.
And I had a candle going already because I have a smelly candle.
Okay.
Because if I can, I will.
Yep.
And so I kind of like sat there and I was like, okay,
Need a second. I just need a damn minute.
And I still struggled with like, and so now I'm trying to like picture the place that I'm smelling. Right. The beach, the water. And then my mind goes to a trip. And then details about that trip. And then I'm like, okay, no, come back here. Where are we? We're at the water. So now I'm ocean creatures. And then that movie I watched. And
Finding Nemo.
And then the phone
All
rings.
The little bubbles
and I'm
happened.
like, ah!
And it's gone. My space is gone. You've taken it away.
And that's how my Friday went.
So you never got there?
Nope.
Did you get there once you got home?
Still
haven't gotten there.
No, I got high once I got home.
Well, you got there. Different though.
It was a different destination, but I guess the result was sort of similar. So, I mean, I would say this is helping.
Yeah, it's gonna start
getting. I'm not like instantly transported to a place where I can focus and clear my brain because.
Well, to me, you can't be because what I think that you are thinking is that you're going to sit there in your meditation and the thoughts are going to not come in. They're going to stay out there.
No, my problem is that I go with them.
Okay. But you're supposed
to stay here. The thought comes in, and because initially it was just the trip, right? And then it went into details about this trip and aspects that didn't have anything to do, because like the correlation was the same, right? But
I get where you were going.
Then the details didn't
and
have anything to do with
your destination.
The correlation originally. And like this needs to happen and that needs to happen and got to do this and oh that's a good idea. I should tell somebody about that and like it just I follow it because it's important. I got to think about these things. It's like
but not right now. Come back later.
But that's the struggle that I'm having. That's what I'm having issues getting past is like not thinking about those things right now because of my fear of losing them.
Once they walk out the door, they're supposed to come back.
They don't often.
Well, you should tell them to change that. I don't need you just yet. Okay. I'll need you again in a few hours. Come back then.
Okay.
Because it's okay that the thoughts come to mind. It's okay that you take a little road trip with them for a second, as long as you come back here, but they come back later. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to come back to it. And I think that that's really going to help you. I don't think that that's going to immediately ground you.
I mean, I've had it for exactly a week, so it's not...
I don't think it's like an immediate grounding, but I definitely think that
it's helping me in a mental way.
Yeah.
Like, whether that's got anything to do with witchcraft, or it's a serotonin thing, or
they go hand in hand.
Or it's a placebo effect, and I just like the smell of it.
Just put sea salt
It may
water
never
everywhere.
help me, but I like how this combination of ingredients smells.
That's fair. I do too.
And I like the idea. I mean, we used it when we did our little circle today. Well,
I used it before then.
I used it before you got here.
Well, see, and then I sprayed it once we got here before we did our circle, and then we sprayed it again after the circle.
Yep.
So, it's a good thing.
It's called clearing waters, and so I kind of like where that idea is going with it. Like, I like the idea that I get when I hear the name, like, clearing waters. Like, you're just clearing your space. You're clearing your slate. Like, the ocean is washing away with the tide.
Brings in.
And that's what that says. Is let your worries roll out with the tide.
So that's what that.
So that's sort of what that brings to mind. Like it's taking the tide comes in and then it goes out and it washes away.
And it takes all the worries.
It takes things with it all the time, and that you can have all of these things.
You can go.
If you're going to take things, you can take these with you.
These ones.
So this is kind of my version of that, and I guess, and I didn't really put the two together until basically now, but that's sort of what I get from this, is like clearing waters is clearing away bad energy, it's clearing away chaos, noise.
Yeah.
It's not really clearing the noise, but I want it to.
It will. It will. Just keep doing it, because that's kind of where I started, like going up north to see the trees. Like that's where it just made me feel small and insignificant in such a grand world that I wasn't needed. Mm-hmm. It was going to go on without me. Mm-hmm. So that was my guidance into this whole like cleansing and cleaning your soul and all of that grounding, and I think that that's going to help you get there. It took me a bit, but once you find it.
See, the difference for me and the part that's hard to get past is that the grounding is supposed to be the like tiny moment of that trip. Does that make sense? Like you physically go to the forest and you go be in the big ass trees that are going to go on with or without you. And my version of that is going to the physical ocean, going to the beach.
Right.
And being there with the water
But I don't have
physically
to go to the
being
trees
there.
anymore.
And so this is like this, and the grounding is our version of that trip, because it is a trip for both of us.
Right.
We don't live in an area where those things that we need are close.
Readily available, right.
We have to go somewhere.
It takes at least a day.
This stuff, these things that Tools. We are doing, are supposed to be mini versions of that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, on that trip, I had to make arrangements for me to not be needed, and I really could embrace the fact that I am insignificant at this very moment. Nobody needs me for anything, and the ocean is going to go on with or without me, and the creatures in it, and the people around it, and I'm of no consequence to anybody right this second, and I can just be me in this place feeling this right now. Mm-hmm. Grounding is supposed to be a mini version of that.
Yes.
And I have to make arrangements to not be needed. Like, it's not something that I can just just like, that's why I need to not be needed, because I am needed a lot.
So in the beginning, I was doing that because I would have to do the same. I had to make my trips up north, and I had to find I need to go to the trees this weekend, and you're just going to have to take the kids. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, that was the trick, except that I had to go to California to do that.
Well,
so,
and
like,
I
had to take the fuck off.
Right. So with this and having that and being able to at least grow that mindset, you can take that time here and be like, I'm going to go for 20 minutes. Don't call me. I'll be back. Don't fucking call me.
I did that for 3 days, and I got called on the way there.
No, you don't have to. Eventually, you'll be able to do it sitting at your desk and just in between phone calls or whatever. Yeah,
like the not being needed is outside of the people calling. Like, there are people inside of my office that need me, and in the next office, and 2 offices down the hall that, like, at any given moment need me for something.
I promise you.
And then the phone, and then my personal phone with my family that needs me for things while I'm at work.
I did it standing in front of a line of people. Like, you'll get better at it to where, okay, focus, center, find it. This is what has to be done. I promise you will. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. It's going to take a bit. That'll help a lot. Keep using it. I promise. I promise.
I mean, at least I like the smell.
And I think that the fact that it clears your head, whether or not you spray it constantly or you just take it out of your purse when you're irritated and take a good whiff and close your eyes and be like, okay, woosah. And then go back to what the fuck you were doing. I think that the clearing of your head is it's the start of it. Like,
if that's the start of it, we're not going to get far.
You're getting there. It doesn't have to clear it for long. It doesn't have to clear it for long, I promise you.
But getting it to clear in the first place is the problem.
But
the length of time, once I'm there, I'll probably want to live there.
She said I'm never leaving.
I will never want to leave there. But getting there is the struggle.
I think that you're doing just fine.
Once I get there,
I think that you're doing just fine. It's a practice. It's a learned. You didn't learn algebra overnight. Did you?
Did I learn algebra at all?
I don't know the answer to that question.
I was taught, but did I learn?
I don't know the answer. No.
Probably not.
But this one you'll learn.
If I were to take an algebra test today, I probably would not do well.
This one you'll learn because this one's helpful. And you'll like it.
We'll see.
I promise.
We'll see how that goes.
Yes, we will. What else are we doing right now?
I was going to ask you the same question.
Damn it. I want to practice the crystal ball.
Okay.
So I think that...
Do you have any idea what to do with it? Like, we've had to look up spells and things so far.
So what I've read is that we're going to put a candle behind the crystal ball, and the crystal ball is going to be here, and I'm going to sit where I am.
Okay.
And my gaze, I'm to look through the crystal ball, basically, towards the flame, and I'm to let my eyes relax. And then I interpret what I see in the ball.
Okay.
So I want to try it, and I want to see if I see something, and then I want to see if you see what I see. I think it might be interesting.
I don't think we'll see the same thing.
I don't think that we would either.
I'm perfectly willing to try it.
I think it'll be fun.
So, let's get...
So this one we're going to do a whole thing on camera. Let's move all this stuff.
You will not see... We can't do this enough.
You won't be able to see all of it, you guys.
All the things.
But just know that it's happening right now.
We're going to set the candle, the same candle that we used for the spell we did.
Which is a protection candle.
Well, it's a white candle, so that's sort of
general,
all-encompassing, but it is used for protection. So we'll use that. That's sort of the blank slate candle, the jack-of-all-trades candle. So we'll use that. Well, I'm trying to get the dog hair off of it. My whole life is covered in dog hair.
You know.
Make sure that the... Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to drop the crystal
whole books are not going to fall. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so you're not gonna be able to see it because it's
But
my
it's
camera.
directly right here, basically.
But I also think that might be problematic. So what do we do about that? Do we put something underneath the crystal ball to make what our problem is? The
candle's too high.
Too tall.
It's too tall.
But I don't have another candle holder that will hold this candle that's shorter, so we have to make the crystal ball taller. So
we're gonna take a couple of witchy books.
That makes sense.
Right? That's what I was like, it makes sense to use the witchy books.
And I'm going to take a little microfiber.
Yes, and I was going to ask you actually if you would clean it.
Clean the ball here. Because we sort of just grab it out of its place when we put it out. Because it doesn't live here.
No, it lives somewhere else.
This is a shared office.
We clean all of our mess up.
With my husband, it's not like a
We're going to a freaking
public place.
Yeah.
But
okay. So I'm going to have to get off of the chair because I think I have to be directly across the line of sight.
I think you are.
I mean like that. Like I look at the
sitting
flame.
On the floor.
Yeah, like looking at the flame through the crystal ball. I don't think I'm supposed to be looking down. I think I'm supposed to be looking across.
See.
And I could totally be wrong.
Yeah.
We didn't really look this up very much.
From what I understand, you just look through it.
Okay, make that go away because I can read that.
Okay.
And also read all of the other papers that are right there.
Okay, so let's...
there we go. Ooh, yes, okay.
Better?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you see?
The candle moves. Like it stays still. It looks like a... Now it moved again. Now it's over there. And it's an arch.
So you're seeing the...
I see the flame. Yeah.
The reflection of the
yeah.
flame.
So if I look past the reflection of the flame...
do you see anything
that you could interpret? No, not like that.
You're just seeing reflections of things.
Yeah, my eyes hurt now.
Ouch.
So I can see you along the bottom. I see the keyboard along the top. I'm trying to not focus in on all of those things. I'm trying to look specifically at the flame.
Okay.
But it's like one of the smallest things in the entire ball. And it keeps jumping. It keeps moving. Now the further down I go, the longer the flame gets, obviously because it's a ball, and now the longer the candle gets. But it actually hurts my eyes to do it. I'm not even gonna lie. So now you try it. That was interesting. It doesn't make shapes though. I wonder if it needs to be dark in here.
I think that's probably true. Because then you get less interference.
Right. From all of the other...
From the things around it.
That you're seeing, yeah.
Because I am only... Okay.
I told you.
I see...
All the words?
Mostly the candle itself, but it's magnified and it, like the...
Yeah.
The honeycomb texture of the candle.
Huge.
It's magnified. And it's almost 3D because it's through a spherical ball. I'm not going to say that. That's heavy.
Interesting.
But through a sphere. So it's like magnified and like coming at you, and it's like almost like playing with your eyes and making me kind of like dizzy.
That's why I'm like, my eyes hurt. Like they started crying for a second. I
feel like it probably is something that we can't do on camera and or in the daytime. I mean, I probably could make this room dark enough. Honestly, this room could get dark enough in the daytime to be able to do it successfully. But I also think that this is something that would have to be done. Like, you have to put your mindset, like, someplace else entirely.
I'm asking either. I'm just looking in.
You just want to look in and see what you see. But even if that's even if all you want to do is look in it and see what you see, I don't think that like doing it on the fly is the way to go. I think that it is something you need to put yourself in a certain mindset to do.
Yeah. And I think that I don't know that we're doing it right. I don't know that we are. I don't know that we aren't. But I also think that, like...
And there's nobody else.
Like, I need to know... I need a little bit more work, like, research in this. Am I looking at this flame specifically? Am I looking at what I see around the flame? Am I trying to change the shape of the flame by moving myself up or down? Or, you know what I mean? Like,
so
am I just watching it dance in the glass?
I mean, there was a spell that I came across... Not a spell necessarily, but a magic instruction.
Magical.
That I came across when I was looking for my sleepy bag.
Okay.
That was candle magic. And that's basically what it is you sit in a dark room and you sit directly across from your candle and you
watch the candle.
Lose yourself in the glow of the flame.
Okay.
Like, you focus on it, and you focus everything on it. Your thought on it, your eyes on it. And then at some point you're looking past the candle, and it's what you see and feel.
And that's what, when, after I did the little sign that I did, you asked me a question. I don't even remember what you asked me. And I looked further, like, into the flame itself. Mm-hmm. And it was like a tunnel is how I would have described what I was looking into, because that's what it looked like in the flame. It was like a little white circle, like a little half circle on top, and it kind of like had a little curve on the bottom, but not big one. But it was like a little white light in the middle of the flame. But am I looking for something in that? Am I looking at that light? Like, what?
Right, like,
what am I supposed to be looking at here?
But I think when there's less interference, you have a better...
And there was a lot of things around. I also think that it needs to be the only thing on the table beyond the candle.
And that's what I mean by interference.
Yeah.
Interference in the actual visual of what you're seeing.
Right.
Like, we have it on a desk that has the computer behind it. It's got my phone. It's got a mug with a cow on it.
I've got
like she's
polka spots mug.
It's got
covered in shit.
So I think that it does need to be
its own table like entity.
Towel down or a blanket or something that gives you less interference and more ability to. And I really think your focus has to be. I mean, that may be something that I wouldn't even be able to do with you or that you wouldn't be able to do with me in the room.
Explaining what I was looking at was hard. Like, putting it into words for you to see what I was seeing wasn't an easy thing to do.
And I think that's something that you have to just do and hold on to, or like write down something that's going to trigger your mind.
That's what one of the things
said
is, to have a pen and paper so that you can just like write down what you see in little like script or whatever.
Even if it's something that like only
I can interpret type of it. Yeah, like
something that just triggers your mind to go back over that information.
Yep, I agree with that. It was interesting though. I hadn't done that. Literally hadn't looked through the crystal ball at all. So
I mean, I've like looked through it like in the camera angle, like see, depending on what book is behind it or what thing is behind it.
The candle's high enough that it's
we've had a candle that made it look kind of smoky, like combined with
that one was really cool.
So,
but actively looking into the glass
it and looking for something, no,
hadn't done that yet. So that was interesting. I think I might take it with me this week. I have a funeral to go to on Saturday, but I have nothing else going on this week. So spring break, everybody will be home.
I didn't remember that at all.
Mom didn't
until I got the email from the school that was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, your kids don't have school all week next week," and I was like,
"A good one."
Oh, okay.
Guess I'll find something for them to do at home.
Good news is mine are both old enough that I don't have to make separate arrangements at this point in their lives. So
they could just help with household spring cleaning this week.
I just have to make sure that there's food in the house for them to eat. And that's about it.
Yep.
That's the end of my involvement. I don't anticipate it being a
rough week
for me, but
payroll.
You never know. I do have a company meeting on Tuesday.
I have my job interview on Tuesday.
So do you think that's still encompassed by the previous spell that we did?
So I think my previous spell helped, but I think it also helped me to see that the leap I was taking was very large, because I got told that I need to have a title before I can take that leap, and I don't have that title that they want, even though I'm doing the job that they are asking for. So I'm going to take the title that's been open for 2 months.
Okay.
And then I asked how long I had to be in that title before I could put in for the one I want. And there is no timeline. So if I get into this title and a month and a half down the road, that position's still posted.
You can now
apply for it, and I won't be denied at least the...
So this interview that you're about to go to is for the right now step?
The title.
Okay.
Which I already have it. Everybody's already told me.
But you have to, formally interview.
I have to formally interview. I have to play the cards. I have to put the suit on, yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm going to go do that on Tuesday. And then I'm hoping that it's still a quick procedure. They know where I want to be. They know that what I want to do is a job. It is the job that I wanted to put in, that I put in for, that I got denied for. That is what I want to do. It's been confirmed. So I'm like, yeah, just give me that. Please, please. It was funny because when I was talking to HR, she's like, well, most people say no because it's a travel position. You're going up and down the West Coast and into Florida. And my face lit up. I was like, oh, up and down the... Yeah, we have locations in Florida. I was like, I would mind that at all. I have lots of people that will help me right now. So that is not one of my problems. So I just have to take the title first.
And the title is the traveling position?
No.
The traveling position is the one above it.
That's the one I want.
Okay. So back to the original question. Do you think that this spell encompasses what you're trying to do, or do you need to do another one for this?
No, I think it's still encompassing. I got a financial raise prior to me even putting in for this position. My annual came up, and so that stepped, and when I take this title, it's going to be another financial position raise. And so I think that it all kind of encompasses. I didn't specifically ask for, and that's where you asked me, did you ask for the job specifically? No, I didn't. And I think that I kind of screwed myself up in that sense.
See?
But what I asked for is still coming to fruition. It's just not
in the way you asked for it.
Not in the way I asked for it.
Mm-hmm. See? I told you.
It's all in the way you ask for it.
The universe does not read your mind. You have to be very specific. If there's one thing they tell you, it's that you have to be specific.
Now, and then they tell you
they don't have to be specific with us, and they tell us that we can do basically whatever we want.
As long as we're specific about our intentions and our asking. The tools that we use to ask are not relevant. It's just the words that we choose to say.
Right.
Which is interesting. So, what I said is still coming about. It's just not the way the title, not the position that I wanted originally. I just get what I want out of the spell. So,
lesson learned.
Apparently, this one I was more specific with.
Okay.
When I did this one, my intentions and what I was saying in my head were very specific with what I wanted.
I was kind of the same. It was a lot of restful sleep, restful sleep. That's what I want. I don't want to sleep for decades. I just want to be able to sleep well.
And have a restful sleep. Yeah, be rested when you wake up. And mine was very much please make sure that my loved ones have good dreams. There are not to be negative emotions within their dreams type of a deal.
You know, I will say that some of the content of my dreams recently I have seen in other things, which is weird.
Like you're having deja vu from your dream?
Yeah, kind of. But it's like in a different way. Like, my phone rang the other day. I was on my way home.
Okay.
And it was a number I didn't recognize.
Okay. And
I answered it, and the lady said, Teresa?
And you, like, stopped the car, and you're like, the fuck?
I said, no.
No?
And she said, are you the owner of blah, blah, blah surprise address? And I was like, no, and Teresa doesn't either. And she hung up the phone. I was watching a show the other day that mentioned the Hoover Dam. The glass elevator.
Bitch, that was fucking insane. The universe is talking to her. It's like talking, like yelling at her. And bitch, pay attention to me.
But I want to know what it's saying, because you sending some random person to call me and find out if I'm willing to sell my parents' old house that they don't own anymore, like, that's not telling me anything. Like, all it was Teresa. That was the only thing. My phone rang.
But it took you back to that moment.
Yeah. But
and then when you watch the Hoover Dam, it took you back to that moment. Like, when they said Hoover Dam specifically, you like...
I was like, what?
And then when we did the glass elevator, it took you back to that moment. I think this is all...
But the glass elevator wasn't my moment.
Wasn't your moment. But it was just the universe confirming, hey, bitch, I'm listening, and it doesn't even have to be to you. I'm just listening.
Well, I wish there was a point here somewhere, because we need to get... I'm very obviously stupid, and I can't interpret what is being said. You have to just come out and say it.
So, I had the universe talk to me a couple times this week, too. And I was yelling at her. My universe is always a girl. I don't know why. It's everything that's above is a girl. It's the feminist in me, apparently.
Okay.
So my universe is a girl. So we had our loss this week, and it was really hard. And I was strong because I'm one of the bosses at work. So I have to be strong for all of these employees that have had this loss. And so I'm holding it together while everybody loses their mind and has their moments and their meltdowns, and trying really hard. I'm crying a little bit, but I'm trying really hard. I got out of work. I'm driving home. Half-hour drive home. Lost my shit. Screaming, mad. I'm so angry that this happened, right? Why, universe? Why did this happen? Blah, 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 blah. I get home. I'm done yelling. And I'm scrolling on Snapchat, going through my memories. My boss lived in Holbrook. Tell me why I have a memory pop up and it's just the Holbrook sign, like the exit sign from the off-ramp. And so I'm like, all right, universe, I fucking see you. You're like, he's not gone, bitch. He's still here. So, like, I get through my night. It's fine. Next day, I'm at work and gotten a little bit easier, a little bit better, put more makeup on, less crying at work. I'm driving home, and I'm, like, still so mad. I'm just thinking about everybody that's left behind type of mad. And I look up from my phone, which happens to be where I'm reading his memorial. Yes, I was reading and driving. I'm bad. I'm sorry. So, I know. I'm sorry. I was on the side streets. We were going slow. I was like, okay, whatever. So, yeah. So, I know. Yell at me later. I look up. There's a Broncos sign in front of me. And that was his favorite team. And I'm like, can you just... I get it. Like, the spirit's not gone. The energy hasn't gone anywhere. It's just a different form type of, like... So, to me, it's the universe, to me, having my conversation, being like, hey, bitch, you can be mad at me, but you can just know that, like, your friend's still here. Your coworker's still here. He's still in that building with you every day. To you, my interpretation of your issue and your problem with the universe is that she's telling you that all of this magic that you're doing and all of this stuff is going to work. You just have to believe, and you're just like, okay, bitch, tell me louder. So she does, and you're like, I didn't hear it. So I don't know. The universe has been interesting this week. That's for damn sure.
I will say there are a lot of coincidences. A strange amount
of occurrences.
Of coincidences. So, I mean, I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm still doing the spell thing.
I'm proud of you.
I've got my sleepy bag.
You're still working on the grounding, even though you're not 100% sure that it's going to work for you. You're still trying, so...
And I told you that I would try.
I know. I'm proud of you.
I'm skeptical, but I told you I would try.
The universe is talking to you, though, bitch. She's talking.
Something is happening in my life. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that the coincidences began and end with, like, the smart accessories in our lives, like the assistants, right?
Right.
Like your devices listen to you, and then you see ads on your social media from the things that you're talking about and the things that whatever. And I understand that. It's not my favorite thing. Sometimes it's useful.
Sometimes it's creepy.
Sometimes it's creepy. But it's something I've come to, like, live with, right? But now things are happening outside of my devices, and I'm like...
What's that?
That's not the Google Assistant.
What's that? No, it's the universe saying, okay, you asked for your keys to show up magically. Here they are. Here they are. She keeps waving them in front of you.
Yeah. So I am trying to interpret that. I'm trying to, you know,
open your mind to that.
Like, so you have put a lot of coincidences in my path, and now I'm listening, but what am I listening for? What am I listening to? So now I'm trying to do things that
will help you open your mind in a sense and have less stress throughout the day to be able to do that. I mean, theoretically,
since I know that the universe is listening, maybe let me put something to communicate to the universe and see if it listens in the way I want it to.
Okay.
I guess it's kind of the way that I'm trying to
work with that.
Do that. We'll see if it works. We'll see how my sleep goes.
I hope it works. I'm excited.
We'll see if you have to enjoy lavender to include lavender in your spell, because I don't enjoy lavender.
How much did you put in there?
I don't know how much of anything I put in there.
Like, quite a bit. I put a lot of lavender in mine. But I was using it for quite a bit of people, so I put a lot of everything in mine.
Lavender a little bit because there was stems in there. What I wanted
was what
like
you said. I didn't want those stems.
Like, I didn't want this because it's a mesh bag, and I don't want it to like stick out.
I'm pokey.
I mean, I'm still not putting it under my pillow.
Right, but even like when you carry it or like whatever,
I don't want it. Yeah, I don't want it to poke holes in the side of the bag and be a problem.
Right.
So. And then all the other contents are falling out because there's holes in it from the frickin' stems from the
already a holy bag in the
first place. So I was trying to like get around the stems, and it just wasn't working. Every bunch that I grabbed at was like stems and stems and stems.
How many bunches did you grab and put in there?
Well, I struggled with them. So like I think there's probably 2 or 3 like little like finger holes in there.
Okay.
But I was like in there for like a while, and I'm trying to like
just get
the finger
flowers
holes
and petals
weren't the same size going in.
Oh, okay.
Because I was fighting the stems each time, so
okay.
I don't have any idea.
I put a good amount of each in mine,
but there's also like I don't know that I didn't smell it.
I actually did before I sealed mine. I'm not opposed to the smell. It doesn't smell calming to me. Like, I wouldn't use it as a potpourri, if that makes sense. They don't all combine well.
It smells like a whole mix of because it was in these bags. The the little sachet bags that I'm using
were
in the box that I
Yeah.
keep all of the stuff in. They were next to the candle that
Candles.
smells like the
The
ocean box that we
jasmines.
got, and there's a green candle in there that smells like the earth box that she got, and there's incense in there, and it just is like a combination of those. So I don't know if I'm smelling the contents of the bag or if I'm smelling what's in the bag. I definitely smell the chamomile.
Yep.
That one is sticking out pretty far to me. I don't smell
I like
cinnamon.
the smell of this side better than the other side, though. Smell that side. Now smell the other side.
I don't know. I feel like they smell like the
They
same.
don't smell the same. That one's much stronger. That one gave me a woof. That one's like a softer, warm, homey smell.
We'll just see if it helps me sleep.
Just the
I mean,
goals.
I'm not gonna like smell
No.
it before I go to sleep.
No, but I think having it on your nightstand next to your pillow, like even if it's not underneath your pillow, will be just as effective.
And that was my idea because my nightstand's very close.
Okay.
And it's like right there at the head of my bed, and it's tall.
So it
like
sits
my bed,
kind
so
of
it
level
sits high with my bed.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I hope it works.
Me too.
Mine should be super. I mean, mine is bad dreams go away basically. So we should kind of find out if mine works in a week or so. Can ask the people that I specifically had in my little head.
In your mind
Yeah.
set.
Yeah. When I was
Sure.
making it. Yeah. See how it goes. It's all new. We're learning.
The
Don't
part
judge
that
us.
sucks is that like there's no time frame for this. There's no. Can you know? Is it? Are we gonna find out within the week? Is it gonna be a month? Is it gonna be?
I don't know. I didn't put intentions like that into it, fucker. Why
I mean, I feel like mine would start working right away as soon as I put it by my bed, because this is like.
meant to.
But with a sealed jar like this. And I think it matters where you store it. And I think it needs to be under the bed of the person that needs it the most.
Well, let me just preface this by saying the people that I intended that jar for live in 3 different places, and one of them is out of state. So, can you just pick somewhere local? Or can I like mail it to the middle?
Mail it to the middle.
Like pick a spot in the middle of the 2 locations and just mail it there, and there it be? I don't know the answer to the question. Do I bury it in the ground? Do I put it by my bed because I'm the one that made the jar, even though that my intentions are for other people? Do I put it in my altar?
There you go.
Do that one?
That seems like a decent place to go.
Okay. Then it goes by the moon water at the altar. The altar's getting a lot bigger than it was. I just want you to know that. I bought a little
I think
stand.
your jars need to get smaller.
I think so too. I think I need to go to the dollar store and buy the little tiny jars. And just have a shit ton of little tiny
and
jars.
I think you're right about that. And those are going to be the little spell jars. And we'll just use a little bit of things to fill the jars.
Yeah, and we'll make full jars at this point. Yeah.
But I think with this one, because you just did this, based on kind of how I think I'm interpreting the things I've heard so far.
Okay. That's how we do this.
I think that you would put this on the altar for this cycle, because every moon cycle you clean your altar and you take the things off of it that you have been putting on there that you're focused on or whatever. And so you would keep this on the altar for that moon cycle and then remove it when you clean the altar.
Okay.
On the full moon or new moon. I don't know what.
The next one. Big moon.
The next time you clean it.
Okay.
You would remove it and put it in its permanent place because it's still a spell that you're like working on.
Right.
But.
Where's the permanent?
You have until the next cleaning cycle to figure that out. Good luck to you. Poof. Luck.
May the force be with you, she says. Sound like I'm going off to the Hunger Games. Okay.
So maybe under your bed, maybe in a closet, maybe on a shelf. But I think putting it on the altar is
The best place for it.
probably the best place for it for the moment.
I can agree with that. I can work with that.
Figure it out.
You keep saying that.
Well, it's your spell.
I know, but it wasn't intended to go places.
What did you think was going to happen with the shark?
No. I hadn't actually gotten there yet.
Okay.
I was just making it for the people that needed it.
And this is why we teach us.
Not you.
And not you.
We're so bad.
Have a good weekend.